Y'all ready?
Let's do this.
Back like we never left. Do it to death. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Honor Among Men podcast. I'm David. And to the right of me, we have B. Irv.
Yes, indeed, B. Irv.
To the left of me, we have Mr. Maverick.
What's the word?
Yeah. And to my far left, we have Mikey Mike.
Praise the Lord, or else.
Do it how you like. Hey. And across from me, the face you'll never see, we have Drew Younger.
Drew Younger in the flesh.
In the flesh. That's funny. Round of applause. Man, we like to thank y'all for joining us. I need you to turn your radio down.
We first time doing this.
Turn your radio.
Who is that? Like, put him on blast. Who was that?
No, that's my movie too. Low Down Dirty Shame. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down. Oh man. Welcome, Facebook Live.
Hey.
What up, though?
You watching us, you tuned in to the Flowers Now Network. Right now, you're watching the Honor Among Men podcast, and this is our very first of many live streams. We're going to be doing this every week, man, so get used to us. Forgive us, you know what I mean, for any discrepancies. You know, it was a lot of riffraff at the beginning of the live, but look, man, we're going to get it together, and we're going to get better as we grow. So look, man, how y'all doing? First of all, let me be formal. You know what I mean? Everybody good, blessed, A1.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
what's up. That's what's up. Today my anniversary. You know what I mean?
Happy anniversary, brother.
Woot, woot, woot.
Oh, shout out to my wife. Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, today your wife's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, little sister.
You know.
You know what I mean? She 21 for the sixth time, right? How old is she?
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. 21 for the sixth time.
You don't want no 21-year-older, man.
Hey. Hey, shout out to Cali, you know. Too soon?
Yeah, you wildin'. You wildin', but I mean, hey, whatever. Whatever. Yeah.
We'll bleep that out at post-production.
It's live here.
Yeah, we live.
That escalated quickly.
We live.
Do not blame me. Either.
He said next to me.
Oh man, how's everybody weekend?
Man, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good. It was good, man.
What y'all do? Who did something outrageous this weekend?
Outrageous.
Outrageous.
Jumped out of a plane. Like what? No, I went to go see. I took a couple of youngsters to see one of my couple of my colleagues who play what you call it, semi-pro.
Oh word.
Man,
Semi-pro what?
Football. Oh my bad, football. Yup. I done seen quarterbacks get walked off the field.
Hey,
running backs
injured.
get walked off the field. Man, for the day.
Dang.
It's like, man, I'm on the sideline like, look, y'all got to go to work Monday morning.
Listen, I'm gonna need y'all there.
If you're a
I
quarterback,
need you in one piece.
you can't go head to head with a safety. Okay, I need you to slide.
Word.
Take
Word.
And one of my partners, he plays center, and he's like Samoan, a Tongan, one of the two, and like he's tall, tall and solid.
Yeah.
Man, I seen him lay out a couple people, bro. And he want me. He said I should come out and play. I'm like, bro, have you seen The Last Boy Scout? Have you seen the starting scene? I will shoot you on the field, bro. Like, do not play with me. You too big,
Hey,
boy.
he did have a gun on.
Had a gun. He shot people on the opening scene.
He sure did.
The Last Boy Scout.
That was Bruce Willis and
Damon
Wayans. Man, it's been so long since I seen that movie. I'm gonna
That'd
have to
be
watch
me.
that movie.
You too big, Damon.
Shout out to Fire Stick. I'm gonna have to watch that movie.
Sure.
Oh man. Hey, I wonder how much How much do semi-pro ballers get paid?
They ain't getting paid.
Oh, like not
Well,
at all.
Not this league.
Oh, okay.
What is the name of the league?
I don't know, but I know they not getting paid.
No, probably not because the new one.
Yeah,
You
that
probably
one-
heard of
Alliance.
it. The Alliance one.
Alliance, yeah.
They get paid like 75,000.
Oh, okay.
200,
All right.
250
See there.
for 4 years.
See that?
But even Cole,
4-year contract.
B. Cole, like he was
Yeah.
getting paid.
Yeah.
But every league is a little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, this league you can tell it was, people just wanting to be active or, people who used to ball.
Yeah.
But they was getting down. They were definitely getting down.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Man, that was interesting. Now you did that Saturday?
Yeah, man. Took a
All
couple
right.
of the youngsters.
All right. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
We live for the first time.
Yeah. Forgive us. You know what I mean?
Volumes off.
They can't hear these mics anyway. I'm gonna have to figure out a way for they can hear these mics, but it is what it is.
It's definitely coming out clear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, matter of fact, yeah.
On my phone.
Yeah, when you had it up, we could hear it.
So if you all watching us online, go ahead and share this out.
See?
Like it.
See, look at Brandon being
You know what I'm
professional.
saying?
You know what
like
I mean?
it, share
Somebody
it.
gotta do
comment,
it.
interact with us.
That's a fact.
You know.
Yeah, comment and interact with us. You know what I mean? Like, share, subscribe. We in here, man.
What's our topic for today?
Also, check us out on YouTube.
Oh,
Flowers
Instagram.
Now.
The Flowers Now Network. All one word.
All one word.
Yeah.
Also on Instagram, the Flowers Now Network.
Also on SoundCloud, same thing. The Flowers Now Network. All one word. Look, man, we getting to it, man. We trying to grow. We trying to be professional here. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
sir.
we slowly but surely getting to it. You know what I mean? If you didn't know, this is a podcast where men of God talk about whatever comes to mind from a Christian perspective. And so that's literally what we doing. We want you to like, share, subscribe, engage, and grow with us. Be a part of what we doing and grow with us. You know what I mean? We accept topic ideas and all that, man. So look, let's get to it.
All right.
Let's get straight to it. Today's topic is rape culture. I should hit the dun dun dun,
We felt
but
it.
I don't know. I don't know which one it is right now.
If y'all felt the tension in the room,
I found the tension in the room. Rape culture. It's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a thing, man. Like, and just even thinking about, I listen to interviews, and listen to different podcasts and just different people talking about rape culture. We in this Me Too movement. We in the Time's Up. There's a lot of things going on. People are being exposed. And the first time I heard about rape culture was with a guy. His name is Charlemagne the God. Some people might know him, some people might not. But he said that something like we're responsible for, or the hip hop community is responsible for like rape culture. He says something along those lines. I'm not quoting him, but that's kind of paraphrasing what he said. And so, man, when I thought about what he said, I'm like, man, he is absolutely true. I can just remember like back in the day, like in the 90s, like it went down. Like it was crazy. The 90s was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And so I know, when I was a part of the hip hop community, I definitely partook in, foolishness, the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? But right now, man, I just want to kind of clear the air, or not clear the air, but break the ice. What is the definition of rape? You got the definition of rape, Mike?
No, I ain't got it.
You ain't got it?
the,
Let me look it up.
I don't know. I'm kind of gonna.
Yeah,
paraphrase.
let us know.
The The definition is when someone commits a sexual act against someone without their consent.
Yeah,
Booyah.
that's what I read.
That's what I read too, though.
That's what you read too.
Yeah, that's
As he
what it
picks
is
his phone up.
in a nutshell.
Say it one more time.
Committing a sexual act of intercourse
Yeah.
without the other individual's consent.
The crime of using force or the threat of force to compel a person to submit to sexual intercourse. And so,
Crime, force, submit.
yeah,
Sheesh.
sexual intercourse, all of that. So, with that definition, what then is rape culture?
I believe it's the practice of rape in society.
The practice of rape in society. So, because going back to Charlemagne, the way he described what it was, like I said, this is the first time I heard it, was him describing what it was and him comparing back in the day, the hip hop community back in the day being the biggest proponent of the rape culture. The way he described it was essentially like, on some old boys will be boys. Like, you know how you might fondle somebody, you know what I mean? Goosing. We done all heard that term. You know how you might.
That's old school.
Yeah, that's super old school, so we may not all have heard that term. Goosing is when you smack somebody on their behind.
So I just looked up some. So I'm gonna give you the internet definition of rape culture.
Okay.
Rape culture is a sociological concept for a setting in which rape is pervasive and normalized due to societal attitude about gender and sexuality.
There you
What
have
you
it.
just yeah. That's
Okay.
right there.
So is that the same as being at the party and just randomly picking a female out and just kind of, not necessarily asking her if you could dance with her and just kind of pushing up on her, grabbing her?
Wow.
So I think it is what it is.
I'm just saying.
It's the normalizing of it.
Sheesh.
If it happens enough times, then it's okay.
Okay.
I don't think that's what you were saying about being in a club and just coming up on a girl and y'all, dancing with her. I don't think that's, technically rape.
Okay, so I'm not saying like just dancing though.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying like, look, man, y'all not finna set me out here like I'm the only one that's done this. Look, Christian podcast. I'm saved, man of God, baptized, filled with the Holy Ghost. I'm talking about back, but I'm talking about back in the day, being at the club, seeing somebody that you definitely want to, let's just say, dance with, right? And then you approach her in a way that's not conducive to the growth of a real relationship. Like, you approach her, you fondle her.
But bro, when you on the dance floor, you're not thinking about no relationship.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, that's my point.
But
That's exactly my point.
now dig this.
We
then you
approach
gotta-
her
then you
in
gotta
that
be
way.
Specific.
Yeah.
You got to be specific
Okay.
because every dance floor isn't the same. Some people do
Okay,
square
what you mean?
dancing.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no.
You feel me?
I've never been to
So-
a square dancing
Some
club.
people socialize, like social dancing.
Okay.
You feel me? Salsa
Okay.
dancing. You don't just come up and grind on them. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
But in our hip hop settings,
Yeah.
that was the approach.
Okay.
And the reason now,
There we go. No,
Give me
you
1
on.
second.
You
Go ahead.
on.
that was our approach. But the women,
All right.
they are aware of it as well.
Yeah.
They not throwing it back for no reason.
Yeah.
Now,
Look.
if they don't want you on it, they don't have no problem with letting you know. Don't get up on me.
Facts.
And they'll dance with somebody else.
Facts.
But that was it was normalized.
But
Look.
I definitely think that's outside of rape. I think rape culture and when I hear the word and what I attach it to is more or less, or the popularization of the rape culture, which you was talking about in the early '90s, was just events that would begin to be thrown and parties and how it was promoted essentially. Like, and I was telling y'all before we did the podcast, I was raised predominantly in a Catholicism church. I was raised Catholic my whole life, and the Catholic Church is one church that's known for quote unquote the rape culture, and being known for rape culture or being something that's popular and widely known, not necessarily accepted but known for it. That's what we're speaking about. We're speaking about like the popularization of it, or something that becoming a norm is normal.
Okay.
So when you talk about rape and you attach it to church, you immediately think of the Catholic Church or the fathers having sex with young boys or young kids and so forth. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about the rape culture. How now it's popular to be connected to something, and I don't think it just started in the '90s. I think because if you look at now,
For sure.
when you hear about it, like all the women bringing back from Jello, what's his name? Bill
Jello.
Bill
Why you
Cosby.
call him Jello?
I couldn't think of his name. Jello popped in my head, but Bill
Facts.
Cosby. They're talking about stuff that happened in the '70s and the
Yeah, the 60s. Yeah.
So I mean, I just
For
think
sure.
rape culture is just something that's like now is accepted, and it's not giving it has not been given its correct response to it for so long. Like we haven't recognized it, or as the church, we haven't gave it its due respect. Like, man, what are we going to do
Wow.
to prepare ourselves for these people that's coming in that has been molested, have been raped? What demons are connected to this? How can we grow to help this person grow or get over what they went through? It's a traumatic experience. So how do we affect that? How do we participate in helping them grow or get past what they've been through?
Now, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, but I kind of want to go back and just be corrected if I'm wrong. What I described is not a part of rape culture.
I don't think so.
Like walking up to a woman in a disrespectful manner. Let's just call it what it is. It don't even got to be in the club. Like I was a wolf.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day. Like I was a straight wolf, disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to grab you, not like the Donald Trump way, but I'm definitely going to grab you. You know what I mean? I might touch something that shouldn't be touched. So are we saying that that's not a part of the rape culture? It's not necessarily rape. And to Maverick's point, if I'm cute enough, I could do it.
I think it's inappropriate
Word.
behavior, but I don't know it's necessarily
Word.
rape.
If I'm attractive enough, I could get away with it.
But I see that's that fine line between rape and sexual assault.
Okay.
those-
So it's a fine line between rape and sexual assault.
Well, that would be the same, right?
Rape and sexual assault. Is it the same?
Well, the rape is the actual act of intercourse. The sexual assault, it could be the things that lead up to it.
Okay.
The grabbing, the unwanted touches.
Harassment.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were harassment now.
So, but what Leon is saying is that it's all in the same community.
That's
Like,
really what
yes.
I'm trying to say.
That's what he's saying.
Or trying to clarify, really.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's all in the same community. I don't know if I necessarily would say
What I described is
humping.
rape
I don't think it's
itself.
rape
I don't
itself.
think it's
Oh, no,
rape
it's not.
either.
Not
Yeah,
by
no, I
definition.
don't. Yeah, I don't think it's a rape.
But I think that's.
But
it's
when
a
we talking
gateway.
about a culture,
It's a
right?
gateway
That's
into-
what he's
it's a
saying.
Right.
definitely
We're
a
talking
gateway.
about the culture. Yeah. Because whether I'm cute enough or not, and whether she give me the play or not, like let's just say she do give me the play, and then I get her back to the crib, I'm trying it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm trying it.
That's it.
And then you talked about buyer's remorse.
Oh yeah, I said that earlier.
Like she might not really want to be with it, but she will because she done came this far. You know what I mean? Like she'll go just because she done came this far. We in the crib, we in my room, whatever have you. And then she done took that leap. Now she regretting it.
And that's what we would assume. Just because we got to play on the dance floor,
Yeah.
we would get to play in the bedroom.
Yeah, like, oh, I got it. I got her.
But I think that's more so. I think that's a deeper argument. I think that's more of an argument of we have been trained and accustomed to not having respect for women,
Facts.
and respect for ourselves. Like
Shout out to being a scumbag. Hey, I was a scumbag, man. I ain't gonna make no bones about it.
So
sure.
if you don't have
sure.
respect for women, you're not going to treat them right in the next arena that comes after humping on them as a teenager.
Yeah.
Or it was a young 20-year-old man. Now
Yeah,
you're like
yeah,
30
yeah.
years old and married. Like, well, I don't know how to treat women because I was taught to hump on them, and they're
Exactly.
gonna know that's what's up. So now you're like, oh, now I need you to be respectful. I need you to walk outside with some class or some elegance or some decorum as a woman. But I know what you did when we was in the club. I know what I did when I was in the club. Like, it's apples and oranges, and I feel like we can't, as men or as just practical human beings, we can't overdo things. We can't say when we at work and you say we were single, we are married men, but if you were single and you're flirting with a girl, I don't think that's rape. And I know a lot of times with the Me Too movement and just like Rick was just stated, like just the flirting or the verbiage that you will say to somebody like, "Oh, that's inappropriate wording," or "You're not supposed to do that." And I think that's the difference between boys will be boys. Men are going to flirt with women because
It's our nature.
It's our nature, and women are going to flirt with men. It's not saying, "Oh, she ran that for me to like her," or "He's ran that for him to." That's not what I'm saying by saying this statement. I'm saying we are attracted to one another, and it's not a correct place to meet somebody. Like, oh, you only can meet a woman in church. Or you
Okay.
only can meet a woman in the club.
Yeah.
Or you only can meet a woman in the grocery store.
Yeah.
There's no set place where you can meet the one that's for you.
Okay.
So if we box it into saying, oh, no, you can't communicate with a woman because you might be boxed into, quote, unquote, rape culture or disrespecting a woman, we got to be careful of giving stuff too much sensitivity or
So is that
Me Too.
what's happening?
Yes.
Things have been given too much sensitivity. Is it you kind of touched on something that I wanted to discuss a little bit as far as like what role do men play, or what role have men played in making it like this, like how it is in today's society, to where it's sensitive. Like it didn't just, well, it seemed like this came out of nowhere, but this didn't come out of nowhere. Like you said, Jello, shout out to the homie Jello, he been doing this since the 50s. So it didn't come out of nowhere. This has been happening. And then we
everybody else
we can name so many other people.
Yeah.
We can name so many other people that's been doing this since been doing it. So what role really do men play in the fact that it's like this now? One thing you did say was how we've been raised. Like we was raised essentially to be disrespectful as men, young boys. We was raised to essentially be disrespectful, man. That it was cool.
Society.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I want to read a comment real fast.
Okay.
We got a comment from, we're going to call her a friend of the podcast.
A friend of the
We're gonna
podcast.
say it early. So,
Man, that's a paragraph.
Yeah. She
Shout out to you, Janice.
Janice doing her thing.
I love-
She
appreciate your
put
particip-
in parentheses,
appreciate your participation.
Or semicolons, rape culture. It differs depending on the person you ask. Women who've
Yeah.
been assaulted are just as affected as women who've been physically penetrated. In the mind of a victim/survivors is one and the same. Buyer's remorse is more than feeling of a woman who wanted to have sex but has been so sexually oppressed that they regret the actual act of doing so. A person like that will always feel violated until they learn to no longer be oppressed and have dealt with their sexuality on their own level.
Yes, sister. You speaking the word. You speaking the truth. You speaking the truth. Our bishop said a lot. What we do is we play married. We do things before we are ready to do it.
Okay.
Most of us have had sex before we were married, and then we
Facts.
say, but then we attach all the other stuff that come, like the married life or what we're supposed to get out of being married to premarital marriage or sex. And like, no, if we're gonna use biblical principles, we gotta use them. We can't say I'm supposed to get biblical principles out of doing something out of wedlock. Like they don't go hand in hand. So you're gonna get a bunch of buyer's remorse when you done slept with a man that wasn't supposed to be your husband, and you done open yourself up and say, oh no, I'm gonna move to the next Joe Blow who want me. We're gonna be a Rolling Stone. Shout out to the Temptations, but Was it the Temptations?
Definitely.
Definitely, sir.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
But she just
My
really
papa was not a Rolling Stone.
hallelujah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of our fathers was.
I just don't think it. I agree with her in a sense of the buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse essentially like it's not knowing the definition or what you're really getting into when you have sex.
But no, but to
Okay.
her point is really what we said earlier. You know, the fondling, the goosing, the penetration is all in the same community. So the man being the aggressor, the fondler, the penetrator, and then the woman being the victim, the one who was fondled on and the one who got penetrated.
Yeah.
You feel me? But it's all in the same community.
It's all-
and you know, there's going to be like she said, there's going to be an impact or an effect, have an effect on an individual. Actually, on both individuals.
Yeah.
Because once an individual or a man, the aggressor, says, "I did it once, I can do it again," and then a woman, once she has been violated, you know, she carries that with her. Now she needs distance.
Man.
When the aggressor he's more prone to, you know, do it. There's going to be a series.
There's going to be a series.
Yeah. Quick question for you guys, just because we have had this conversation outside of this podcast before, but being a father and going to dances as young men, I don't think myself. I'm gonna say my statement first, and I want to see what you guys feel on this. Because I knew who I was when I was out there in the world, going
Yeah.
to the club, dancing
Yeah.
with women, how vicious I was.
Wolf.
I don't think I want a wolf. I was out here, fangs and all. You feel
Don't say
me?
you
Man,
don't
me.
think. Don't say you don't think.
You know you wouldn't,
I do
huh?
not want my daughters.
Uh-huh.
I don't. At this point, I'm in a strong stance. I don't even. They can't go to prom. They can't go to
Word.
dances,
Bro.
And I'm like, how y'all feel as fathers, men?
I agree 100%. Quick story. My daughter, I think this the same thing. My daughter wants to be a cheerleader. Right? So, and look, I ain't fully decided. Like, I'm kind of with it. Here's the thing, though. My son plays basketball, and he got the cheerleaders at the, you know what I mean, at the games, and they do their thing. And so they do like a dance at halftime. And so sometimes the dance is cool. Like, as a matter of fact, at all the games, the dance is cool. They made it to the playoffs and they switched the dance up, right? Right. Made it to the playoffs, so I guess they like, we gotta wow them. So during this playoffs halftime dance, they was gyrating, bro. And I'm talking about my son. My son is in the 7th grade, 12 years old.
Right there.
These little bitty girls, and they gyrating, pelvic thrusts, right?
Nothing new.
And I'm watching, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, not my daughter. And I literally thought out loud. Like, I was in my head like, oh my goodness. And I said it out loud, and everybody turned around and looked at me and was like, you know, laughing or whatever. And then I snapped out of it and realized that I said it out loud, and I just like stood on it like, man, not my daughter.
So I think just like with anything else, like as a parent, when you take a
Man.
stance, like my child is not gonna celebrate Halloween or things like that.
Right.
So even if you allow your child to be on those type of activities, you can say when it comes to this cheer,
Thank
you.
she's
Yeah.
gonna
I was gonna
sit out
say
and
that.
do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
All the
I was
others,
gonna
but for me, I don't want to take her away from that experience, that experience altogether.
Word.
But I also have the right to draw a line in the sand.
Yes,
Say,
sir.
When
Word.
you get to this point, she can't do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I hear you.
It's almost like a parent discussing the curriculum with the teacher.
Right.
What are you going to be teaching? So
You better
as a
do that.
parent-
Hey, listen, you
Right
better
now,
do that.
Yeah, especially now.
You better do it.
So right now, at being a parent, you can also ask, what are the routines?
Right.
Because they got the routines. It's like a playbook.
Facts. Yeah.
They got the routines. What does it
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like? You know, so, but to each his own. But I highly recommend parents, you know, taking on that responsibility.
Yeah, man.
You know,
you
with
got
that.
to. You got to.
And
You
I'm
definitely
glad
got
that,
to.
that you asked that, because I also, you spoke about your child and things. Another big topic that goes along with this is, can a husband rape his wife?
Hey, you know,
You
what's
a
up, did
wild
a show
boy.
on that.
You a
this
wild
week.
boy.
I'm just-
Who?
It's the
Who?
biggest thing in the news
Who
right
did?
now.
Who did?
Law and
That's a
Order.
big question.
Oh, Law and Order
They
did a show.
They did a show on that. And the
Man,
wife
we
killed the husband.
we about to
Look, y'all
touch
want-
that.
y'all
Oh,
want
the
my
wife
real
killed the
answer?
Killed the
husband.
husband.
Y'all want the
Man,
real
listen.
answer? Look,
Hold on. Hold on.
look, hey, make your point so we can get to that.
No, we good. Look, this is just little talking things I'm gonna throw in there just in case we get a little stiff silence or something. But look, man,
Wait, everybody say they facts first so I can dive in.
You ready for the fact?
look. Since you asked the question, you answer it first, man.
So,
Me personally, I believe.
Hey, we live.
Put me out there like
Let's go.
he said, yeah, they're going to
Kid when gonna make money.
He said they're going to wolf go.
Yeah, straight up, go
But,
right to the wolves too.
I do think there is a line that should be drawn between a husband and wife. If it goes too far, it can be considered rape.
Wow, what does that mean though? If
Yeah,
it goes
break
too
that down.
far, what does if it goes too far mean? How could it go too far?
Your wife is not your own personal property to do as you please in that matter. She's I'm
She
just
not?
being honest. She's not your property.
No,
She's not your property. So
wives are not property. You know, we're not saying that. No, not gonna agree with that. We
But
agree with
she's
you, Brandon.
not?
We agree with you.
He
Brandon.
said, "We agree with you, Brandon."
hey, I read somewhere
Tell him what you read. Tell him what you read, man.
wives belong to the husband.
Come on, man.
And likewise.
So is that
And
a-
likewise.
And
likewise.
Is that a
You can't
form
even
of property
hold
though?
on, you can't even withhold.
You but
It's fraud.
Hey,
Drum roll.
They ain't going scripture.
it
Go
is-
ahead, pull the scripture up
biblically,
there.
it is fraud.
Almost there. I should have.
You should.
But-
We still got time. Brandon finna go. Go ahead.
But
It's
taking
good.
it, like that's where you that's that line, bro.
I think that's abuse you're
when
talking
they
about,
say
though.
no,
I
no
hear
matter
you,
married
and
or
that's what I'm
not,
thinking.
that's that. Once you taking it, bro.
yeah.
No, no, I don't think
Taking
a
what's
husband
still
should
belongs
abuse his wife. He shouldn't
Okay.
punch her. He shouldn't spit on her. He shouldn't yell and degrade her. I understand arguments. I'm not saying you shouldn't have an argument. I'm not saying you're not going to have disagreements.
Yeah,
But
'cause
if
you
get
are.
it, you're going to.
Oh, yeah.
But if you get violent and you start doing things
Exactly.
outside of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
norm, there's a well, you must control yourself. So I
Okay.
think controlling yourself is something that's wrong, and that goes hand in hand with masturbation to raping your wife or and sleeping out on your wife. That's all wrapped in controlling yourself.
Yes.
And if a Christian man or a man himself can't control himself, then he has a problem. But I believe when you're talking about rape, your wife, I'm not saying like, I'm not trying to go as far as saying, hey baby, we should do it tonight, and she say no, and you press up on her, that's raping. Because I think what we attached earlier was raping, was doing stuff that's rude to a woman, like touching her butt or.
Well, no, I wasn't calling it rape. I was just saying it's a part of that culture.
Yeah.
That's really all I was saying.
but like-
That's not rape.
You remember?
I've
in
never
that,
raped
in that
anyone.
initial, and when we initially did the definition, it said force.
Right.
So if you're
Right.
if you're forcing your wife, it's rape.
Yes. Yes.
Look,
Go ahead, Ricky. I feel you over here. I'm like, that escalated quickly.
let me tell you something.
Hey,
Tell
praise
us
the Lord or else,
something.
though.
Tell us something.
The moment I jump over the broom,
All right.
the moment we jump over the broom,
All right.
look, baby, it's green light every time. Okay? It's green light every time. But I do agree with Irvin. I'm not going to beat my wife. If she's sick, I'm not going to, you're going to give it to me anyway. No.
that's wild.
No.
Yeah.
And that's assault, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah,
That's assault.
but
you
okay,
ain't
if
gonna-
she's sick, but if she simply says no, not tonight,
Oh, no. Listen, baby.
ain't none of that.
Hey, I got my knees. You
Okay.
got your knees.
Okay.
You feel me? And I tell
feel
my
you.
wife, look, and this is for the grown.
Yeah,
But listen,
for sure.
but I tell my wife, look, if I'm asleep, do your thing. Okay? I be tired in the morning.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
I can't-
Shout
I ain't
out
go-
to do your
look,
thing.
I ain't gonna say
Hashtag
no to
do
you.
your thing.
But you
If
gave-
I'm sleep, do your thing.
That's you giving consent.
Let me tell you something.
You giving consent.
And dig this, when she jumped over the broom, man.
She gave it, huh?
Consent then.
She gave it. She gave her consent.
See, when we jump over the broom, see, it's an analogy for a lot. It's a lot under that jumping over the broom phrase.
Witchcraft.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Here we go.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm here today. All right, go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Stepping on the plates, like whatever you do.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Down the aisle.
But she submits to your authority. You submit to her as well. Like it's a lot that falls under that, man. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All
But
right.
we can't withhold ourselves. In fact, we have to even get permission to like fast. Like
Oh, that's a fact.
Right.
we have to.
That's
we
a
can't just be
fact.
like I'm fasting. I ain't giving you nothing. Like, huh?
Like, hold up. Nah.
No.
Nah, player.
But at the same time, like you're saying, that's a conversation you all have had, and
But
that's a understanding y'all had. Now, if it came down to the moment, and then you just say, "I'm just gonna force this on you,"
Right.
That's
And
inappropriate.
See, but that's what I was
Very,
saying earlier,
very.
though. When I say a lot of people get into relationships and marriage and sexual behaviors when they don't even understand what they're inviting themselves into. We got so many people saying, "I want to be married," and they coming from that side of the world, and they don't understand what comes with the covenant of marriage.
What side of the world?
Why you
Homos.
do that?
No,
I
because
thought you
you.
were saying something else.
Yeah, see,
Repeat that.
you laughed. I'm like,
What, say that one more time, bro.
what side of the world?
The LG, INOT,
ABC.
ABC. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying
Look,
I don't
man.
know. Look, the
I don't think
gay
homos
community-
is homos
don't know.
taboo now.
Maybe
You can't call them
That's just-
homos.
well, hold up, that's just an abbreviation for
Homosexual, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't call him.
No, you can't.
He's a homo.
No, you can't do
What
that.
movie is that?
That's wrong.
do that.
Wedding Crashers. That's
No, that's what movie is
wrong for
that?
real,
That's
G?
Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers.
What?
Yeah.
You said that's wrong.
He's a
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you.
But
That's
we
what
ain't
they
never,
say.
we ain't never, none of us that. So I mean, I just saying like a lot of times, basically, what my point is, we people invite themselves into acts they don't even know what comes with that. Like you want to be a wife, but you don't know everything that comes with being a wife.
Right.
You want to be a husband, we
right.
don't know everything that comes with being a husband.
Yeah.
And that's because my people lack.
I've been guilty of
for
that.
We all
people
learn.
perish for the lack of knowledge. Like we don't really understand what we getting involved in. Open the Bible, open up the Word, Google or do a research on husband and what everything that comes with being a husband, sexually being a husband, and then get into it. Have that conversation. I think every spouse and husband should be able to have the difficult conversations. If you haven't had them yet,
You got to. You got to. Before, you're not gonna be able to have every conversation right then and there. Yeah, but
still having that understanding.
yeah.
That's a big.
Yeah, you gotta have, I guess, as many conversations as you can, or whatever, man, because it's important,
The
man.
Bible says, "Dwell with them according to knowledge."
To knowledge,
Don't just jump in it and
to
you don't
knowledge,
know nothing.
right. You can't,
It's a
you
reason.
can't,
It's a reason. You
can't
gonna be a
just
whole
jump
lot of
into
headache,
it, right?
additional headache and
Word.
heartache,
Yeah.
divorces. You know what I'm saying? Like dwell with them according to knowledge.
No one knows everything that comes with being a spouse until they become one.
Facts.
Shout out to Janice.
Facts.
Shout out to you, Janice. You know what I'm saying?
all the
Because
prison
that is
watch.
definitely the truth.
And that's just like any profession.
we got 17 eyes on us.
That's just like any profession. You don't get a degree in, sociology. You don't get a degree in engineering. First month on the job, you know everything about it. It's certain bridges you haven't even crossed yet.
Right.
Word.
There's certain problems that you've never solved before.
Word.
But what's going to assist in the coming up with the solution is the principles. So our solution is going back to the principles, the basic. Okay, like Mike said, what does the word say about this then? Since I skipped over it,
My bad.
before I got married, what does the word say about this?
Yeah.
So that's all that means.
And one thing that I wanted to hop back on and say was we have to, as men, be able to say I was wrong in the past and allow people to be like, okay, you were wrong, and accept the growth. I was listening to a sister on the podcast Kev on Stage podcast coming on my way over here.
His wife.
It was a sister that was she was a little glue, but she was saying some stuff like I what he did in the past I forgive him for, and I'm willing to take what what he's doing now and recognize it. And I feel like we got to give people a room for growth because we don't know all things. You know, when I was a man, I thought as a man.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that when I was a child, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but we have to respect the fact people thought as a child we did things idiotic as a child, and we have now grown. And I'm not going to be subject to my old life behaviors or experiences. And I think when we're talking about rape culture, you know, humping on girls and doing all these different things in school and however things I did, now being a dad, I'm like, wow. Sometimes I hate myself for what I did. And I mean, having daughters, I have 2 amazing little girls. And I'm like, I'd kill a dude if he did what I did.
Bro.
I'll be right there with you.
Bro.
So I'm like, I appreciate the facts that we have the ability to watch over our children or be there for our children as men. I have a big disdain for a lot of the older men because they decided not to be there to mold us, to correct us. And we wanted women to correct all men on stuff that women would never have to go through or they would never think. So I think the movie that's out now, What Men Want, and like the internal thoughts of how we think, and only person that can think like a man is a man.
Okay.
Right.
Women can try to be, masculine, or they can say I can raise a man just as good as a man could, or all that stuff. And
It's all lies.
I love and respect single moms. Do your thing, baby. Do your thing.
Do your thing, baby.
But don't make your thing more important than what a man could be to, helping the growth of a family. Why women are important and men are important. And I think we sometimes poo-poo the man's role in the growth of families and the growth of people.
Yes.
And men, we think differently than y'all or than women.
Fact.
And this is an honor amongst men. We talking about men's life. I'm like, bro, we went crazy out there.
Yeah, for sure. Now dig this, and I don't want to steer too far off into left field. Some single mothers don't have a choice. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What
like,
do you mean?
Oh no, don't do that.
I go there.
Go ahead.
Like they don't have male figures, adult figures in their lives.
Okay.
So it takes a single mother in a lot of cases to find a man with that type of with those type of morals that we all want to uphold. Those standards that we on this podcast are shooting for. It takes a woman, a single mother, to actually come to the church to find those type of role models, because there's some women out here that just don't have those type of connections or relationships with men that they can trust.
True.
So
True.
but nonetheless, the man's role is always going to be the man's role. I'm just saying, for however long it may be, the woman sometimes just doesn't have a choice.
But you said something so powerful yesterday, and I wanted, you were talking about going out with my son and his best friend, taking him to the football game, and you had said, I don't think iron sharpening iron start when a man
you did say
is
that,
young.
For sure.
And you like, man, you supposed to hop on them as children. I don't think.
For sure.
I just think if a man can be a knucklehead out there in the street, we allow. And I think we said this earlier in the podcast. Go back and check out old podcasts. But we said it earlier before, talking about we have never heard a man say, "Oh, you're not a real woman." And I think we, as in this feminist society that we grew up in or that we're in, we attach with that, like, oh, a street dude or a dude that's not in. A man can teach you how to be a man. Now, being a godly man or having godly principles is something that can be added onto you. But being basically a man, any dude can install manly principles into you. And we have to, like, and then that's our job, to go out there in the highway and just to bring more men in and mold their thought process. But
I
But
kind of, not every man, because
there you go.
at the same time, we were just saying the way we learned how to be wolves came from another man.
No.
And they were teaching us, like, we were literally taught, man, just go out there and just attack.
So are you saying that's wait, what? Okay, go.
I
What?
don't-
What?
Go ahead,
Let him finish,
Dave.
let him finish.
So I don't think that's a man teaching you how to be a man. That's not. That's not teaching you how to be a man. That's
What is
teaching you how
that?
to-
Man,
That's,
we're breeding wolves.
right,
Just like
right.
you said.
I don't think that's breeding wolves. I think that's saying men are supposed to be attracted to women and go out and talk to women.
But
not
it's
in
your
that
you
way.
talking about
I'm
the
not talking
behavior
the
though.
Behavior. We're man. You see a chick you like, just grab her up and you know what I'm saying. We were
I
taught that.
never was told that by another man.
Well,
Okay,
I was.
here's
That's why I
the
say
thing.
Not every man. Has,
Whether you was told or not,
you saw it.
you saw it, and you already know. I'ma tell you if you don't. Kids ain't listening to nothing you say.
They're watching this.
They watching what
Yes, sir.
you do,
Yes, sir.
and that's what
Yes,
they
sir.
mimicking.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why you supposed to, as a man that has a wife, you supposed to walk up and hug and kiss your wife.
Word,
and
facts,
touch
facts.
your wife.
Yes,
show
sir.
affection
True.
towards
Yes,
her.
sir.
That's for sure.
True.
But
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about when I just see a random man walking up and touching
To a
and grabbing
random girl.
woman. Like
Yeah.
that's literally what I
Kids
saw.
ain't in the club.
Bro, I didn't
be on the block.
Bro, you be
Say,
on the
what
block.
about
You
the
been
block,
in the
bro?
gas station.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? I gotta say that. I have to say this. I was just watching Instagram, and it was really disgusting. And y'all may have seen it. Y'all
I
may
saw
not
that.
have seen it.
Dang, you know
But
exactly what he's talking about. Huh?
two young ladies were walking inside the gas station,
Mm-hmm.
but it was probably about Irvin. You correct me if I'm wrong. It was about 10 to 15
Yeah,
dudes.
10 to 15.
Really,
Oh, like knocking.
circling them.
Like,
Man,
yeah.
circling
Yeah.
them, not
They
even
the
letting
girl
them
had like a
move.
black dress on.
Yeah, wolves.
I saw that. Them dudes was
But-
pimps.
And then the other girl, she ran to her car, and the
Yeah,
other dudes
yeah.
was chasing her down.
Yeah.
You know,
The thing that really got me about that video, looking at the young man that we have in the world today, he literally was talking to her like, yeah, you were called a B.
all of that.
And then when she responded to him, his response was, "Oh, don't act like you ain't never been called a B before."
Yeah.
Like that was his response.
Yeah.
Like
That's rape culture, man.
Yeah.
That's rape culture, bro.
That's I agree with you. I 100%. I'm not gonna say I 100% agree with you guys.
I know
agree. I agree that we men can be. It is. There's times when men can be inappropriate,
Absolutely.
but I think we put the onus on men saying, "Have eyes, but don't have eyes. Be
Okay.
attractive, but don't be attractive."
All right, so here we go. What do women play a part? Do women have a responsibility in how things have turned out in regards to rape culture?
I'm gonna start off. Okay. I'm gonna say no.
No, they
I'ma
have
say
no responsibility.
Go back to biblical, and we could say it was the way she was dressed and all that. But the Bible says approach things with a sober mind. He's not just talking about from alcohol and things like that. Like approach it with the mind of diligence. You know what I'm saying? You don't just take something just because it's available.
Okay. Okay.
But the Bible,
So
you
dig
talking
this.
about? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go,
Go
you
ahead. Go.
sure?
No. You
So
man.
I'm gonna use the same Bible you've been reading.
We right. Go with it. Go with it. I think we come from the same scripture. Go ahead and with it.
And I'm gonna go to the first woman and the first man. Now it's ultimately, yeah, you know. Now it's our responsibility. Like we are responsible for the trend, for this condition,
The church.
society.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
as a whole.
Okay.
The church, even us men of God, we are responsible for the condition of our society as of today.
Okay.
However, there's a responsibility on both ends. So when God told Adam, don't eat the apple, he said, cool. Eve ate the apple. Now, sin didn't happen until
the
who
man ate it. Until the man ate it.
However, but she was still responsible.
Yes,
She
sir.
wasn't supposed to eat the apple either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was an instruction from God. So we all play a part. But I, like Brandon, I do agree. We are at the forefront, at the top, wherever you want to place us. We're one. It's us. But we all play a role.
So yes, women have a responsibility. Now, none of us, and I'm gonna speak for everybody right now.
Hold up.
None of us are saying that a woman deserves to be raped.
Yeah, no,
Or
yeah,
I know,
definitely not.
we're not, and I just want to make it clear. I want to make it clear though. It's not about she was dressed this way or whatever it is. Now, does it really matter how a woman dresses?
Yes.
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 For sure.
100%.
For sure.
100%.
Now,
In what way?
You talking about period or towards the rape? do they have a responsibility to how they present themselves in public? Everybody does.
Okay, but what does that mean when we're talking rape culture? When we're talking the aggressiveness that we've been trained in as men?
That's part of the statement that I said. I don't want my daughters to go to the clubs because I understand there were girls in the club that would be like, "No, I'm not dancing tonight," or "I got a boyfriend," or "Will push you off when you humped on the bar."
I
Like
didn't
Rick
care.
said,
I didn't care about that.
No, exactly. So when you invite yourself around woods, or you putting your and think about the Dave Chappelle skit.
Okay.
He went up to a guy that was dressed as a police, and it said, "Are you a police?"
Yeah.
I'm not a police
officer. Yeah.
So you think about that, and I'm saying wearing inappropriate clothes is wrong, but you have to you have to accept your role in what
Wait,
you're doing.
you're not saying that wearing inappropriate clothes is wrong?
Yeah, not if you're in your bedroom.
Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, if you,
well then it's appropriate.
it's appropriate. But when you out there, you out there. Like I don't just walk outside and like whatever my wife may be attracted to, flaunt it for other women, and I think nobody should do that. Like. So you gotta accept your role in what you're doing. I'm not saying what you're doing is acceptable or it's acceptable. Like when we said earlier, if a girl go to the club and she dances with a guy and then she go home with him and say no, is no still no? Yes, no is still no whenever it's said. If it's said while we're doing it and then you have to stop, you must stop and then like accept her no.
Oh, you gotta stop, huh?
I think so. Yes, you don't just keep
All right.
going like you already let me in. I'm here now.
All right.
No, that's rape. That's when it becomes rape.
Make it
I'm
clear.
glad you made that point though.
Yeah.
Because you can even start the act of sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
If they change their mind midway,
Yeah.
you gotta stop.
Yeah,
Make
you
it clear.
Right.
You
Just
got
make
to.
it clear.
And with that, I'm just stating that I just think
You
we
better
all,
stop.
as adults, have to be held accountable. Like Rick was saying, Eve was held accountable, Adam was held accountable, but we cannot just say men are always to blame for. No, it's scriptures in the Bible that says when your daughters or your children go out and do stuff, the father's still to blame if she's not married. We just get so far attached to stuff like, oh, that don't mean nothing, or that's old. That's the Bible. That's old. That's Old Testament. No, don't play yourself. That's the Bible. And the Bible was given to us for us how we should live and how we should interact. And because we have got so much wrapped up in the Babylon culture, we make like the Bible doesn't exist anymore. Let's not do that. Let's let the word be the word. We get out here and we act a fool, men and women, and we make it acceptable majority times for women because men are always to blame. We are to blame and we have to accept ownership on our own, but it's not a conversation. If I keep going to my church. If my daughters, God forbid, got out there and did something wrong, I'm not going to talk to her like, it was that man's fault that you were out there dancing with him. And I'm like, whoa. Why am I worried about him while I'm having a conversation with her?
Okay.
And that's the same way God deals with us. When I get in an argument with my wife, he's not dealing with me with how he's dealing with my wife or what he may be saying to her. He's dealing with me what he's saying to me. So he already gave outline and provisions of how women should be dressed. No, don't adorn your hair with gold or braid your hair with gold and so forth. Like we act like these scriptures don't exist, or be careful how you interact inside the church. It's these things are there because he knows who we are before we knew who we were. And I know, like, if I'm in church and I'm not supposed to be around something, how to remove myself. But that doesn't mean that she shouldn't have been in church that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. What I think you're saying is women need to be conscious about the attention that this outfit is going to bring me before I leave this house.
For sure.
Look.
Or, and I'm gonna just go that far because I'm radical. Get used to me. But I don't believe in celebrating Valentine's Day because I don't want my daughters to, and just as far as like, oh, get out there and say you're in love with anybody, or get out there and say you're in a relationship with anybody, and you're not even ready or understand what relationships are. No, you're not going to give little cards to the boys in school and say you got a little boyfriend in school. You're not ready.
Cold-blooded.
You're not ready. You don't even know what you're doing.
Cold-blooded.
You don't have a boy. I'm your boyfriend.
Hello.
I'm
I
your
never,
man.
I never thought about it that way.
So
But that's
is
good.
that a form of perpetuating rape culture?
What?
When we allow
Yes.
our kids to
Yes.
Yup.
I'm going to say yes.
start doing stuff.
Because
at that
there was
age.
funny you say that, there was an actual, it was a cartoon, but it was crazy because, so the girl, she was making out all these, Valentine's Day cards and everything, and then she was going and giving to the boys, and the boys were trying to like kiss her. and some like weren't doing it, and some were trying to do it aggressively. And mind you, this was like a cartoon, and it was perpetuating this thing like if a girl gives a card to you, that means like she wants something from you. Like so, it's like if they're telling like our little kids that, then they're gonna go. That's gonna stick in their brain with that conditioning. So when they go to first grade and everything, that's why we got kids out here wilding out like they are.
You know what it is? It's cute at 6.
Yeah.
When you're 16.
And we don't consider that.
Exactly.
That's the
So,
thing
look,
right there.
I had a situation like that. My niece is in high school out here.
Uh-huh.
And a little boy, a boy in her class invited her, like asked her out to homecoming day.
Okay.
And my thing was no, like, do you know what doors you opening up?
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Like what you need a date for?
What you need a date for? Yeah.
Like for real.
No, I hear you. What you need a date for?
Go to homecoming with your female friends. Y'all listen to the music, celebrate the school on they sports thing, and you come home. It's not a date. What doors do you open up? You're 16.
Word.
And that's the same conversation we gotta have with young boys too. And like I get it, like I'm harping on daughters because I have a daughter, but also I'm raising a young boy too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell him like, bro, you ain't ready for that. You know what? Everything that come with having a wife. You know the type of conversation you're going, because that's the end goal. When we have boyfriend and girlfriends, the end goal is to be married or have a long life, stay in a relationship with them. Genuinely, like the way it's supposed to be.
When you're saved,
when
bro.
you're saved, sometimes you just want to get out there and you want to get it. Keep it moving. That's not a boyfriend and girlfriend. You just swinging, but or doing your thing. But I think we have to have these conversations with boys because I feel like, and like I said earlier, I don't like older men because I felt like they dropped the ball with just telling us marriage ain't gonna be easy. Women think like this. I've been married for 38 years, and this is how women do. I'm like, well, oh really? And I feel like women are fortunate enough to have that conversation with their moms, their grandmoms, about how men are, so they can then add that onto them. And I feel like we throw out there to the wolves of, and I'm not saying all women wolves, forgive me women if you're watching, but we threw out there with no understanding that we're the head and we got to make the final decision, or we got to be the provider, and then we saying, you're not a real man if you're not providing for me. You're not a real man if you're not going to take care of your kids.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even taught as a young boy, you gotta take out the trash responsibility. That's all we teach little boys. Take out the trash. We don't teach them, hey, you gotta make sure your mom good. Make sure when your mom come in from out the car, you walk out there now that you're a young man. Walk out there with me.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna bring her in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's our job to protect
Yes, sir.
her.
Yeah.
The Bible literally says, train your child when you're awake and when
Yes,
you're
sir.
asleep. Every action, everything you're doing is how you're supposed to train your people, your children.
It's funny you said that. So my wife and I have a running joke now, because when she leaves, my son, mind you, he's 2 years old. He follows her to the door when she's leaving, and when he knows that she's coming in, he's right there at the door. Because I told him, I said, if you're the only person in this house, I told him that tonight. I said, I'm gone. I said, you're it. Like, and he takes that seriously. She's like, he pays attention. I said, that's right, because I'm his father. He's gonna listen to what I have to say because he watches me do it.
Jay,
Let me just say this.
You remember my conversation with my son? It's like, that's our wife. I'm like,
Oh yeah, no.
What?
He
No.
definitely said that was wild to me that your son told you that.
It's
Like
what?
hey, the funny thing is he said, "Mommy is my wife too." Like, mommy is my wife too. Hilarious.
Wait, pause.
But let me just say this. Let me say that I respect you, Drew, for the fact that ever since your son been on Earth, you been talking to him like you talk to us.
39 years old. Like,
You know what I mean?
Hey, some of the people watching the old videos, old podcast, right? Think
Be like,
his
he
son
don't really
be
talk to
15
you.
years old.
Right. He be like, and that's what I tell my son. Yeah. That's what I tell my son. Like, bro, your son's 6 months.
talking
Hey,
to him.
but, hey, to get it on a more serious note, I think this is the generation where we have to make the changes.
Okay.
Say that.
I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
I never seen anyone opening doors for my mother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Someone running to the door. My mother came in the house.
Word.
So we're the next. We have to teach the next generation how to protect our women.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? We can't just say, "Well, I wasn't taught that." No, you have to. At this
Yes,
point
sir.
in your
You gotta
life,
be-
you have to take the initiative to learn.
Yes, sir.
And do it on your own.
Yep.
Man, now that I think about it, my mama actually taught me
I
that.
was about to say that
Like,
myself.
open the
honestly.
door. My mom used to stand by the door.
Wouldn't move.
Yeah.
Would not move.
Straight up, she
bro.
would stand by the door and would not budge and look at me like, "Come on, man, what you doing?" You know what I mean?
For
Like,
my sister too. Like,
Yeah.
man, bro,
I
Yeah.
remember,
Especially when you was angry with your sister.
My mother first taught me that when you're walking on the sidewalk,
Walk by the.
You
how
right.
to walk by the street.
Yeah.
You know, I remember those
Yes, sir.
conversations.
yeah,
But
man.
now at this we have to teach this next generation.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what? It's harder to do that now because, unfortunately, because we're being taught that women hold the same place as a man. So now
we're equals.
Guys, like I walk into a gas station, dudes don't open the door. Woman draw.
That's disgusting.
I'm like, come on, for real?
I don't
Like,
give
you know
you a
what's
due
like
door, girl.
this-
I'm opening the door.
I said no. Like I'm really not concerned about the woman's reaction. Like if she thinks whether or not I'm trying to like hit on her or like whatever. I'm doing that because I'm doing what a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to open up a door for a woman. Even if I saw a strange a lady that I don't know struggling with some groceries, trying to put them in a car, I'm gonna ask, does she need some help?
sure.
Because I'm a man. That's what a man does. I'm not trying to get nothing from her.
Nowadays, you
Here he
can't
go.
ask.
Here he go.
What?
I know what you finish your statement.
Oh no! Go ahead. What's so crazy?
I was gonna say what's so crazy is I was in the gym with one of my homies, and it was a young lady who was probably of the LGBTQ.
LMP.
It's an eye on it too.
Oh, it is okay.
I don't
That
know what it stands
community.
for though, but
And
Indifference.
I was like, "Hey, bro, get the door for her."
probably.
I was like, "Hey, bro, get the door for her." He was like, "Man, she a stud." Like, she wanted to be like us. I'm like, "Bro, she's a woman. Bro.
Right.
She's still a woman." Like, I'm no joke, bro. I'm not being like.
I believe it though.
But I'm like, what I say that to say is how confused the generation can easily get twisted.
Men don't even know what to do. They like,
Yeah,
if
like
we
she a
allow-
stud.
You know, if we
Why
just
would
allow-
I get the dough for her?
You know what I'm saying? So we have to be intentional. We definitely have to be intentional.
Look, I don't care what you say, ladies. You're not equal. We're not equals. We're not equals. What I was going to say is you can't even ask them now. Like, hey, you need me to get that for you? I literally walk up to women that I don't know when I see them struggling with something, and I say, let me take that for you. Let me get that. Like, you can't even be like, oh, you need help? Because she going to be on some, no, I got it.
Yeah.
Like, even if she don't got it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't. Let me get that.
Right, I see you struggling.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's crazy. And we definitely do. It starts with us, man. It starts with us, man. We got to do it.
Now,
we got to do
quick
it.
question. I know we getting long in this podcast
Yeah.
and so forth, but I wanted to make sure we talked about this because
Okay.
it was heavy on my heart as men, as the church itself. When people come in and they've been, because I hear so much of these stories now and they're doing the research for it.
Mm-hmm.
People have been dealing with being raped as like a kid, and then they come
Yeah.
out about it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get you guys' perspective on what do we do as the men of God or the church now to be ready for this. And it's not just women. I know we've been talking about women being raped, but men are also raped and fondled in this country.
That's such a wild thought for me. I'm going to keep it all the way 100. It's a wild thought.
Think about the prison system.
Okay. Boom.
Yeah, that's the only way out.
It's not wild anymore.
Yeah, okay.
You just fixed it. You just fixed it, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
But what do we do as like men of God? Like I get it. Like, the old traditional thing is pray for them, lay hands on them, put
Okay.
some holy water on them. I'm like,
Okay.
practical.
Uh-huh.
Practically, how do we have those difficult conversations? How do we, like, if somebody came to us and they were willing to open up about that, because say we have a testimony service or somebody kicking it with you, like my man Rick. When every one of us came to the church, he like, I'm gonna take you out for lunch. We're gonna talk. So Rick knew what I've been through when I was out there sending what I came to Arizona for, why I was in trouble. And if I told him like, man, I was raped as a kid, like how do we have that conversation with him? How do we get there? Like, all right, bro, how am I help you get through this?
You first of all, as a man, just speaking from a man not gonna be so apt to have that conversation.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
one thing that we have to do as men is make other men comfortable.
Build a rapport.
Like yeah, and definitely build a rapport, but we gotta build relationships.
Yes, sir.
Like we gotta, the rapport is definitely the beginning, because I mean you can't build a relationship without first building a rapport with somebody. But we gotta make cats comfortable, man.
Yeah.
Like for real, to open up. And I've actually seen it happen. Like I've seen people be standoffish at first. And because of the love that we show at the Shield, shout out to my church, cats will open up and reveal it all. And then it has to be a practiced thing as well, as far as we are concerned, because once somebody open up about something, you can't be like, oh, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you almost gotta,
You got to be prepared.
yeah, you gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared. Even if it's something you never heard before, or something that it's not fathomable for you to prepare for. Like you gotta be prepared, and you have to respond in the correct way.
You have to know where the resources are in the community, get them the help they need.
That's a fact as well.
Yeah, it's a few things you need to be prepared about.
Now, do men play a role in helping a woman when it comes to that? Like helping a woman when she comes to the church and wants to open up? Because one thing we all know, when a woman gonna open up. That's what she gonna do. She gonna grab the mic and she gonna almost put you in a position to where you might have to snatch it from her. Like, whoa, okay, sister, you ain't have to tell us that. You know what I mean? So what role do we play as men in that? Like, how do we, like, what?
We play a role. We play a significant role.
I wonder what it is, though.
Well, just because we most not all churches, and I don't even want to use the word most, but here at this table we have ministers at this table.
Okay.
And you don't step outside of your
4 of them,
role,
5 of them.
role of ministry.
Okay, you said at this table, but I didn't want to leave the face you'll never see out of the equation.
Yeah, you got
My bad. My
All
bad.
right. But you got,
My bad, bro.
we got-
Okay, I'm sorry.
We gotta accept the fact that we have the role of ministry, and our wives have conversations with us. One.
Okay.
So we have to be able to articulate with her and politic with her, or whatever word you want to use, to make her understand the male's pedagogy on sex and life and how she can help a woman. Or we have to be able to say, hey, I can pray for you, but this is where I can direct you.
I was just gonna say that.
And but us being, all of our wives are on the core team at our church. And so
Okay.
forth. So having the ability to say, hey, sister, I understand what's going on. I'm at the altar praying for you now, but look, here's my wife's number.
Right.
Talk to her. Or here's the first lady number. Talk to her. Or and I feel like, because we don't want to be like, oh, I heard it, so I'm gonna run past it because she's not a man, so I don't have to deal with her.
Right.
Right.
That's very inappropriate, because God doesn't say don't talk to people. Talk to everybody.
What I hear you saying is our role in that situation is a guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's such a delicate situation. Sometimes the man role is to just direct.
Okay.
And I definitely don't think, and this is my thoughts, only my thoughts, this is the ink by Ricky Bobby Ink, but I don't think you should be out there like sitting down and like, I'm gonna have a personal conversation with
Right.
you, woman.
Yeah,
You better not.
That
Get in
don't-
depth
Hey,
with her,
look,
like,
That's
whoa.
that's
If
the
you
way
know
marriages
what's
get messed
good-
up.
But even on the
Even
side,
if
that's
they're
why
single.
marriages get messed up. If you don't have the proper knowledge to deal with that situation,
Word.
Right.
you should. That's not your ministry.
Yeah.
Direct that person where they should be. You know what I'm saying? They can get the best help.
Because you
Yeah.
could do more. You could do more
More
damage
damage,
than
exactly.
anything.
Yes, you can. You
But I
will
can.
mess around.
Don't hesitate to pray though.
I said I can.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can,
Oh yeah, for sure you can.
definitely don't hesitate.
No,
to
that
pray.
ain't what he meant, but yeah.
That's just
But
definitely.
sometimes a lot of people, you don't always have to pray with the person. You can just pray for them and still direct them where they need to go.
All right. Hey, that's the quotable. You won't always got to pray with a person. You can pray for them. Because you mess around, man, and just holding hands with a young lady. Man, you be done messed all the way up.
You're like, how did I get here?
Right.
How did I get
Respect you and respect you. When I mean respect you, I mean respect your wife. She you. Respect
Right.
what you got.
Right.
Like, I don't know. My wife is
Respect
very,
what you got,
My
man.
wife is very important to me, and I don't want to
Yeah,
violate
all right.
her.
No, yeah.
All right.
By talking to a woman inappropriately, but I also don't want to
All right.
let I guess he say some plants and some waters, and I don't
The
want
word, say that.
I don't the word. I don't want to drop the ball because I feel like I'm going to be dishonoring my wife. I'm gonna do things the right way.
Yeah.
And we have the ability to pray for somebody, and I don't want to say not praying for somebody is the thing. You can pray for them, you can not pray for them, however you do your thing, but hear from God. Ask God what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
And that's key because I do believe we're still able and qualified to give a word of wisdom.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Whatever that may be, we just don't need to have a counseling session.
Okay.
with an
There we
individual.
go.
It could be something you are not
That's
the victim.
important.
Yeah.
You know, because
That's
what the
important.
devil will do on an individual all these years, they've been harboring this thought or this idea that it was
It's their
their
fault.
It's their fault,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a big thing.
And it's like,
Yeah.
no, sis,
That's a
not
big
your
thing.
fault. And you
Yeah.
just gotta, like I said, just a word of wisdom.
Yeah.
And then, like Mike said, be that guide. We're not counseling you. We're just going to encourage and guide you.
Word. Man. This was good, man.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. This was good. So, let's wrap it up and let's put a button on it. Drew.
Why you put it on me first, bro?
Say much tonight.
Yeah, I was just finna say that because you definitely haven't been talking a lot. It is what it is, though, man. Go and put a button on it, man. Rape culture.
Men, we got a responsibility to control ourselves. If you're thinking about doing something with a young woman and you know that she's not into it, it's up to you to control yourself and not do it. You saying that she's wearing that dress that you like and all that stuff, that has nothing to do with it. You're in control of you. As far as society, we got to teach these young men that they're supposed to be men and not dogs. We got to tell them, like, look, whatever you need to do, take a cold shower, go to the gym, run it off or something like that. Don't go out and don't go, because I mean, again, just like I told my wife, I said, somebody mess with my daughter, she not only has me to mess with, she got uncles, she got like a whole group of men that boy's gonna wish he never was alive.
Believe it.
So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, very. So I said, yeah.
Let me torture first.
It's up to us. It's up to us. Let's go ahead and change. Let's go ahead and change this thing. Men are not dogs. Not all men are dogs. Okay.
Word. Hey, I just seen an interview that said all men are dogs and you gotta train your dog. This dude wrote a book. Y'all saw that interview?
Talk about,
Dude wrote a
Make
book.
it
good
good.
husband.
Yep.
Oh, that's who that was?
Exactly what that is.
I ain't
real?
know who
We
that
was actually talking about that
was.
yesterday in church.
Hey, that boy said, hey, so he a pastor.
Yeah.
That boy said, train your dog. That's like the name of the book.
Wow.
I actually agree with him.
He a wild boy.
Look, man, we all got dogs.
I think
man.
I don't
I was about to say, I kind of agree with him, dog.
train that dog.
Oh man, I was watching it. Hey, I was watching the interview with my wife. I shut the interview off mid-interview. I said, "Okay, that's enough of this." She looked at me like I was enjoying. I said, "No, no, no."
I know you were. That's why I did it.
That's enough of this. That is enough of this.
I already seen the Steve Harvey movie with you.
I mean, really, dog.
Watch your mouth. Wait. Y'all don't throw
I
yourselves
think,
under
I think the moral of his like story was control the dog.
Yeah,
within
for
you,
sure,
you know?
for sure. That was definitely the moral, for sure. But he was wilding though. Put a button on it, be her.
I'm gonna go with what we've been going over in church all week. Show compassion.
Okay.
If you constantly showing compassion to your neighbor, the thought of harming them will not cross your mind.
Okay.
Preach, preacher.
If you constantly showing compassion, looking out for your neighbors, their best interest, their best their safety. Harming them won't cross your mind.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go with that.
I'm with it.
There you go.
Put a button on it, Mr. Maverick.
We all just need to be responsible. Period.
Boom. Mikey Mike.
I'm gonna be a little more long-winded.
All right.
Mardi
All right.
Gras.
Take your time, man.
Mardi Gras is the devil. Freak Nick is the devil.
Okay. All right. Look, he going somewhere. He going somewhere.
I'm
Black
Mike
Bike
Robinson.
Week.
I'm Mike
He
Bike
go-
Week.
Black Bike Week.
Black Bike Week.
Specifically or pacifically,
Shout out to my wife.
you know what I mean? Black Bike Week.
Those events, Valentine's Day.
Let me slide that on in there too, right?
I mean, look, do your thing. Do your thing if you agree with it. I'm not trying to convict you here.
I don't like buying stuff anyway.
I'm just saying when you
Jordan.
I like Jordans. Don't want Jordans from God. He created
Jordan's from God.
the swing man.
Finish your point.
He said Jordan.
Preach, preacher.
Shake it back.
Black Bike Week is the devil.
Yeah, you was going somewhere.
Like,
Go there, go.
Events that you participate, be careful of what events you are connecting yourself with as a man or God or as just men. Do research. Take your time to look up what things mean and why you participated in it. And don't just have yourself at an orgy and you not knowing that an orgy is going on.
Okay.
And that's what
Man, all right. Freak Nick,
Bike Week, Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day. Get yourself together. Know what you're participating yourself with. Be sober, and that's not just drinking. That's just knowing what you're involving yourself with. Being mindful of what are you connecting yourself to.
Man.
And you can't just connect yourself to anything. That's for men. That's for women. It's honor amongst men. But as men, we have to be mindful of what we're connecting ourselves to. As they head, we can't eat the apple because our wife ate the apple because women are looking good. So don't just bite from everything that you see.
Wow. Hey, look, there it is, man. There it is.
You ain't put your button.
But look,
Got it. You're right.
Come on.
but look, my button is simply this. I agree with all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like we got. I'm gonna take the easy route. We have to be responsible. We have to be responsible, and we have to take our role as the head seriously. We have to take our authority in God, in Christ, as men seriously. We cannot perpetuate rape culture. We cannot perpetuate rape culture. And so we have to always be mindful in the advice that we're giving out. We have to always be mindful in the things that we're saying. And we especially have to always be mindful in the things that we are participating in. We got to take our role more seriously as men. And that is definitely one of the main reasons why we do this. The main reasons why we do this, because today was a light day, but usually you got 5 different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of different arguments. Usually only 2 arguments. You know what I'm saying? usually only two of us.
Hey, this seating arrangement is conducive.
This seating arrangement ain't conducive, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that, because it don't matter where we sit.
No, it matters.
Definitely don't.
It don't. It
Set
don't.
us up.
I mean, I'm
Y'all
here
gonna
for it.
see. Y'all gonna see. Yeah, what's up? That's what it is. But 5 different perspectives. But at the end of the day, we all adhere to the fact that we are men and we have a greater responsibility in this whole thing, man. And so with that being said, this has been the Honor Among Men podcast. And you have been tuned into the Flowers Now Network Facebook Live. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Janice, I love you, my sister.
Well, you know it.
You definitely hijacked the comments. Hey, But that's what it is. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for hijacking the comments the way you did.
Remember what I told you on Sunday.
Remember what he told you
Come
on
and
Sunday.
sing. Come and sing.
I don't even know. I don't even know what that means, man. But hey, yeah, we love y'all. Thank y'all. Honor among men, real talk, real issues. And we out, man. We'll see y'all next time. Every Monday at 6:30-ish. Something like that. Amen. Peace.